Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we're going to continue our possible laws of magic which might be implemented at the beginning of Total War Warhammer 3. Yesterday we spoke about the law of Tzeentch, but now we have the final law of magic associated with chaos. This is the law of Nurgle. Nurgle grants his servants a selection of foul spells that spread illness and despair. These spells are characterized by their profound vileness, involving disturbing odors, rotting flesh, and the corruption of the body. His law is also known as the Gifts of the Plaguewind. For this, we will look over the spells in the Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition army book for the Demons of Chaos. As always, the inspiration mainly comes from 8th edition as confirmed by Creative Assembly. Let's begin with the first spell, Stream of Corruption. Stream of Corruption is a direct damage spell. Place the teardrop-shaped template with its narrow end touching the front of the wizard's base, and the large end over the target. All models underneath the template must pass a toughness test or suffer a wound with no armor saves allowed. This is easy enough to translate. It is a flame spell, very much in the same way as to how the Skaven Plague Furnace casts Pestilent Breath, just from the base of the model. Now this works quite well, as Nurgle units, casters and so on are actually quite durable, and this is a very melee focused army. It's more than likely that the spellcasters associated with Nurgle, the heralds, the demon princes and so on, would be front and center in the battlefield doing their damage. We've already seen that the Chaos Sorcerers, the mortal ones for that in fact, are able to be in the front line and you won't have to worry about them too much. They can do their damage and also take quite a lot of punishment. Next we have Miasma of Pestilence. Miasma of Pestilence is an augment spell with a range of 18 inches. Until the start of the caster's next magic phase, all enemy units in base contact with the target must reduce their weapon skill and initiative by 1, and the wizard can also choose to cast a more powerful version of this spell. The spell itself isn't really an augment, it's more of a hex, but it can be assumed that in Total War Warhammer it would work in a very similar sense, where it would reduce the combat capabilities of the enemy that's been targeted. Perhaps when upgraded, it can also affect enemies in an area of effect. The next spell is Blades of Putrification. Blades of Putrification is an augment spell with a range of 12 inches, where the target unit's close combat attacks gain the poisoned attack special rule. Again, very simple enough to implement. It's a buff spell which will grant your units poison attacks. Now, I'm assuming that a lot of Nurgle's units will have poison attacks baseline. I'm not too sure, but it just feels like something we can expect. And it is important to know that there are 7 spells in this lore, whereas spellcasters in Total War Warhammer normally know around 6. So if anything, this might be the spell that gets removed. That, or it changes to a different type of use altogether. Next we have Curse of the Leper. Curse of the Leper can be cast on any unit, friend or foe, within 18 inches. If cast on a friendly unit, Curse of the Leper is an augment spell that increases the target's toughness by d3. This could more or less be translated to the increasing of armor or even just melee defense. If Curse of the Leper is cast on an enemy unit, it is a hex spell that reduces the target's toughness by d3. Now this would work in a similar sense, where instead this could be used to reduce the melee defense and armor, or armor, better yet said, it really depends, of the enemy unit. The great thing about Nurgle's lore is everything is pretty self-explanatory. Next we have Rancid Visitations. Rancid Visitations is a magic missile with a range of 18 inches that inflicts d6 strength 5 hits. Again, magic missile, very self-explanatory. It could also be that it could drop a debuff on an enemy unit to reduce their armor or melee attack values just for a small amount of time. Next we have Fleshy Abundance. Fleshy Abundance is an augment spell with a range of 18 inches. Until the start of the caster's next magic phase, the target has regeneration special rule. I don't think it would cast regeneration on someone, that might be a bit over the top. If anything, it could just act as a basic healing spell. Something like that would work well and fits with the theme of Nurgle. Have your flesh start regenerating and healing itself with more growths and limbs and so on as a way of showing Nurgle's blessings. The last spell is Plaguewind. Plaguewind is a magical vortex that uses the small round template. Once the template is placed, the player nominates the direction in which the Plaguewind will move. The rest is pretty much self-explanatory. This is another magical vortex spell, and yes, I get the feeling that people are kinda sick of magical vortexes. I completely understand you, but magical vortexes on the tabletop were incredibly popular, as they could do, well, a lot of damage. And it is quite common to see more magical vortexes being implemented in Total War Warhammer due to the fact that, yeah, they do damage here too. The lore of Nurgle was very much self-explanatory, there's not too much to really discuss here. They are mostly buffs or spells that you'll be casting as close to melee combat as possible. This is an army which is slow and tough, but it is expected from Nurgle's forces to be at the front line, however slow that may be. Honestly, I don't see too many changes regarding the lore coming into effect. Everything seems to work perfectly fine. What do you guys think about the lore of Nurgle, and would you see any changes come into effect? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons, your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.